Hey everyone, PushingUpRoses here, and welcome to another indie adventure game review. And I know, I said I wasn't interested in doing retro titles anymore, but every now and then a modern one comes along and I feel inspired to talk about it. Today I'm reviewing a cute and sweet little mystery adventure game called Duck Detective: The Secret Salami, and why they didn't go with Duck Detective is beyond me. Maybe it was too quacky. It almost works. Listen, I know there's probably too many animal detectives. But let me say this. I don't care. I love them all. I love animals, I love detectives, I love adventure games. This is a triple threat combination. I say bring them on, I'll play all of them. That being said, shout out to the original animal detectives, Sam and Max. If not for them, who knows how many fewer animal gumshoes we'd have.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Duck Detective: The Secret Salami was developed and published by Happy Broccoli Games. You can play it on a number of consoles, including PC, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. I played my version on the PC. This is one of those games that you will love right away. It goes right into gameplay with a little introduction where we meet our character, the Duck Detective.
Life wasn't easy. I was a freshly divorced duck, not able to pay next month's rent.
He does have a name, Eugene McQuacklin, but nobody calls him by this name, even in dialogue or when you're solving little mysteries using text clues. He's only referred to as the Duck Detective.
I'm the Duck Detective. I'm here to investigate a case.
So that is what I will be calling him, as it is in fact very cute. Do you remember that feeling when you booted up Untitled Goose Game, or any game? My example is Untitled Goose Game, and you had to press a button to honk and you're abruptly delighted by the presence of an adorable goose? That game got into my heart immediately. It's what I remember the most about it, and I was reminded of that same feeling when I started Duck Detective. And not just because both feature adorable birds that honk. And certainly not because you can wreak havoc wherever you go, though I did make sure to knock down every trash can I came across, but because both of these games just fill you with glee due to cuteness overload. The graphic style is adorable. You play these sticker-like sprites that just kind of shuffle everywhere you go. Every single character design is delightful. This poor cat though, she looks stressed. We begin in our office monologuing because that's what you do as a hard-boiled duck. Poor Duck Detective is newly divorced because he spent all of his money on bread, and it is absolutely hilarious.
This fresh smell. Oh, sweet, spongy loaf. You keep me safe at night.
But what really sells it, almost immediately, is the inspired voice acting. And let's be real, the quality in adventure games tends to vary. It always has. The last few games I played have been text-based, just because I like reading it on my own, with a certain speed in my head, but this game would not be the same without these voices. They are above and beyond and so funny. Everyone from the Duck Detective himself.
Hannah! I'm a different duck now. I haven't had a slice of bread in weeks.
To Freddy the Crocodile, who is my favorite character. He is such a naive, sweet summer child.
I'm the only one here in the operating office. Can you imagine? I plan all the bus routes and make sure the buses are on time.
Oh my god, look at him. I'm getting cute aggression.
Really?
He is voiced by Brian David Gilbert. It's a great, wholesome performance. I honestly kept looking for excuses to go back and talk to this little guy. He's just my weird little guy. So we get a phone call from an anonymous client asking us to investigate a theft at the Bear Bus call center. The thief is known as the Salami Bandit! During your investigation, you meet characters and encounter even more mysteries to solve along the way, and it gets quite scandalous.
I don't think he likes me very much, to be honest. But then, doesn't feel like he likes anyone at this office. Except for Margaret, I guess. Do you think they have a thing going on?
Let's talk gameplay. You need to make deductions. Get it? Get it? Do you get? First step, inspection. Observe the suspects, see what they're all about. This is a pretty simple mechanic. You just use your magnifier to find hotspots on whatever you're inspecting, and the clues get put into your notebook. When you have enough clues, you can make a deduction. Now, there's something very important I must tell you. Literally, not a single character in this game introduces themselves. You have to figure out everyone's name by way of clues and interrogation. I have no idea why people are so secretive about their names, but when you know them, they get put into your suspect list. And when you complete a suspect, you can ask characters about them and any inventory you find. It's very Colonel's Bequest. except there's no gruesome murder. A lot of salami theft, though.
That's a lot of salami.
There are different deductions for different cases, and when you get enough clues, you can solve them by simply filling in the blanks. It starts out relatively easy and straightforward, but let me be clear, later in the game, I was very much struggling to get the right answers. It's also one of those games you can play with your kid, as it does have this cutesy tone to it, but keep in mind, there are bad words.
Do you have a problem? If you have one, just call our damn hotline.
You come to find out that everyone has their own issues in this call station. Laura the cat hates Freddy, which is weird because he's so cute. There's secret relationships going on, there's heartache, there's embezzlement, office politics, and illegal sausage activity, which is not an innuendo for anything.
That's a lot of salami.
You're going to forget there was even a lunch theft with all the scandals going on in this office. The game also has a great, wholesome sense of humor. One of my favorite parts is when I inspect Freddy's computer, he has Twitter open and he's on the Duck Detective's profile because he is a huge fan. You see, on top of being a detective, Eugene is also an author.
I have a copy of your book. The Early Bird Catches the Criminal. Can you sign it?
There are also these random little fabricated duck facts at the bottom of the screen, though I think I would have actually preferred true facts. Look up duck mating and be horrified by the corkscrew. Now that would have been a great trivia bit. The character I relate most to is Laura Angst. I mean, did the designers base her off me? The likeness and expressions are uncanny. Not to mention the sweet melodic timbre of her voice.
Freddy? He gets paid more than me. Can you imagine that?
It's like they know me. While there are so many positives to this game that lead me to recommending it, I do want to talk about a couple cons. The deductions really did get a little tricky, so I found myself making a lot of assumptions and guessing on certain clues, which felt a little deflating. While I'm sure you can find every clue that explains these deductions exactly, there is a risk of getting impatient if you're only getting one or two words wrong. So I ended up getting a couple of them right through trial by error. And that's not exactly what I want in a mystery game. I want the clues and evidence to make sense. I want them to be clear, and I'd rather not second guess myself. There's no penalty for getting these wrong, just a hard knock to your pride. It felt like so many different answers made sense, so I kept floundering, wondering what I could have possibly done wrong. I did backtrack several times to see if I missed anything, and while everything did make sense when you put it together, this isn't dream logic by any means. I wish I hadn't felt the need to wing it with these clues. Wing it! However, despite some of the difficulty, there is a really nice hint system that is very naturally integrated into the story. When you want a hint, you start to ponder. The Duck Detective starts going over things he's already done or learned, then suggests what you might do next. It doesn't give you exact answers, it instead guides you, and it doesn't break the flow of the game at all, because it feels like you're just having a little brainstorm, which is what detectives do. I did use it a couple times when I found myself toiling over these clues. So even though it did get a little frustrating at points, I still think this mechanic is great. This is what I seek in a mystery game, putting clues together to figure out solutions, interrogations, investigations, all of the gations. The game really got all of that down, and I think if the deductions were refined a little bit more, it would be even better. The voice acting and writing are solid, the animation and art style are cute, and it was just fun. Just a really good time that held my attention for the duration I played it. And as I get older, I find that's something I really struggle with, really dedicating time and energy to a game or really anything with some kind of semblance of a story. I do typically like games with a little more complexity, like darker storylines and intense plot twists. For example, the games I played after this were An English Haunting and Nightmare Frames, which are very dialogue heavy and have a richer narrative, but every now and then, you just gotta have something to cleanse the palate. It's like after you eat at a Brazilian steakhouse and you just feel weighed down by meat, so you chase it with a papaya smoothie to ease your stomach. That's what Duck Detective is. It's a refreshing papaya smoothie that makes you feel good. You gotta break down those proteins. There's one last thing I'd like to mention, which is definitely either a pro or a con depending on how much time you like to spend on games, but it was only a couple hours long. I spent more time on it because I streamed it and then I talked about it further in depth on my podcast, which will be linked in the description, but it's pretty short if you know what you're doing. I'm fine with that because, let me tell you, listen to me. I just spent $10 on a coffee, and I only got to enjoy that once, so I'm fine with spending $10 on a short video game to enjoy again and again. It does seem to be set up for a sequel, so I hope this developer makes more Duck Detective games, not just for more bonkers food-related mysteries to solve.
That's a lot of salami.
But because I think they can give Eugene an overarching storyline involving his bread addiction and his heartbreaking divorce. I think we all want to see Eugene become a better duck, kick that bread habit, and mend things with his ex-wife Anna. As I mentioned earlier, I do go into more depth about this game in my podcast called Save Your Game, so if you want a more detailed account, be sure to check that out. I also do a very deep dive on Harvester, which is the exact opposite of this game, so there's something for everyone. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy sleuthing. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video on Duck Detective, The Secret Salami. If you want more from me, I have plenty on offer, but first, a huge shout out to my patrons, because if not for them, I wouldn't even be able to do reviews like this. If you want to support the show, a little goes a long way on Patreon, but if not, likes, shares, and comments really inflate my ego. If you want to see more from me, here's a few suggestions on the screen. On the right is a breakdown and riff on a wild episode of Diagnosis Murder starring the legendary Dick Van Dyke. And on the left is an episode of my flagship series, That Time on Murder, She Wrote. This video starts with mystery and ends with even more mystery. Thanks again, and as always, I will see you in the next one.